The discovery. Medha was in the shower as her husband Ashok's phone rang incessantly in the bedroom. Her heart pounded fast as she longed to grab the opportunity of attending the call before her husband arrived on the scene. Dr. Ashok had been married to Medha after a blooming romance and courtship of 3 years. It had been only a month since they had tied the knot, and Medha had become strangely paranoid about his phone calls lately. By the time she had rushed to change and come out of the shower, Ashok was already in the driveway, leaving for work. Medha stood in the hall watching helplessly as Ashok reversed the car and was soon out of sight. Ashok, your tiffin, she yelled behind him, but to no avail. The pediatric ward of RML Hospital was buzzing with activity. It was a general ward and the beds were full to utmost capacity with sick children and worried guardians. At this moment, two attendants arrived on the scene and rushed to bed number 8. A little boy, barely 7 to 8 years old, lay lifeless and still on the bed and occasionally threw his legs up in agonizing pain as though he had seizures. He was lifted and carried to the MRI room on a stretcher, third time in succession before the final surgery could take place. The boy appeared in an impoverished state and was accompanied by his frail-looking mother, whose only hope now lay in the hands of Providence. She managed to seat herself on a bench outside while her son grappled with life. All this while, Medha had been kept calling her husband as he drove to the hospital to check why he hurriedly left without lunch. She was getting sleepless nights thinking about her husband's late night calls and messages. All logic seemed to evade her as her mind became afflicted with suspicion. But it was all in vain as Ashok didn't seem inclined to respond to her calls, or at least not at this moment. Dr. Ashok reached RML Hospital steering his way through rush hour traffic. Without exchanging a word, he started preparing for the impending surgery. It was 8-year-old Bablu's surgery of a risky brain tumor, which had nearly left the child blind in one eye with unrelenting pain. It was going to be a delicate removal of the tumor, and a single lapse could endanger Bablu's life. Only Dr. Ashok's precision and expertise in handling pediatric tumors could work magic. All prayed, and a miracle it was, as little Bablu's life was now out of danger after the long and arduous operation. At home, Medha had almost slept off on the sofa in anticipation when hunger pangs woke her up in the evening. It was 4 p.m. when Neha's phone rang. Dr. Ashok spoke gently on the other side. "Medha, have you eaten your lunch, dear?" he inquired. "By the way, I have someone who earnestly wants to thank you. Here, take the call." Before Medha could utter a word, Bablu's mom broke down in sobs over the phone, while she thanked her and Dr. Ashok for her only child's miraculous recovery. There were blessings galore for both of them. Medha had just made the startling discovery that not only laid her mind to rest, but also secretly rejoiced with pride at the thought of being Dr. Ashok's wife. She felt grateful and counted her blessings.